Hey everyone, welcome to Slow News Day Live. My name is Steve Poikinen. I am here in the Santa Cruz Mountains for like a week. Countdown, bitches. Countdown. I am joined by my better than your co-host, Glory Jones. What's happening, Glory? How you doing?
It's happening.
Yeah. Uneventful flight back, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
No shakedown by security forces.
I mean, I got stopped at security, but that always happens now. It's like they didn't even check my bag. I just got stopped, and then they like took my bag to the side and they're like, you're good. I'm like, okay, so we're just doing this. This is just natural now. Okay. But
Yeah. Right on. We have a lot to talk about. Holy crap, there is an insane project that we're gonna get into called Moonshot. And it has absolutely nothing to do with space or Space Force or hoaxes. Well, maybe. Um Glory's got a couple of stories that she wants to touch on. I would like to um thank Chrissy Marr for having me on her show earlier. That was a lot of fun. If you are a Rockfin Premium member, you can watch that now. Otherwise, it'll be out on her podcast apps. I think at the end of the week. I think. Anyway, that was good times. Gonna have her on the show soonish. Just found out that Sunday, August 1st, will be joined once again by Elizabeth Voss, and I'm looking
hey,
forward
okay.
to that. Yeah. Heard back from her today. Realized that it had been far too long since she's been on the show. We needed to fix that. We did. Guys, we are entirely viewer funded, and that's the only way that we get to keep doing the show. We're a little bit over halfway for our goal for the month. You guys are fucking awesome, and thank you so much for that. I'm gonna grab the link and pull up the GoFundMe. If you can, guys, please do donate. It doesn't matter if it's like $1 or $1,000. It does not. Every little bit really fucking helps. Big shout out to Eric Cullen and Gaina Fauci and Rob Juno, who in the last like 24. Fucking love you guys. And I will drop this into the chatty chats. That's the right button. It's been a day. I was stoked to see that the Ray token had climbed up a little bit. It had damn near tanked when it was at like 20 cents. I was like, oh, word. But it looks like it's on the up and up. I said this was gonna. We talked about this on ABB. They were trying to bleed crypto to get it to drop down to get the rest of the punters to sell off, so that investment firms and banks can come in and swoop up on that centralized fucking surveillance coin that is Bitcoin and Ethereum.
All right.
Yeah. Do you want to start with your manatee with a middle finger?
It's not just that.
Well, no. I know, but I mean, just as a warm up, and then we'll get into Moonshot towards the end here. Oh, and by the way, guys, pretty much immediately after this, I will be on the Unity or Death podcast, hosted by our buddy Magnus Panvidya. I'm going to be joined by our good friend Misty Winston. and my buddy Adam Kokesh, former Libertarian presidential candidate and military veteran and veteran for peace, off-grid homesteader, and a couple other people that I'm not familiar with. So this should be a lot of fun. That starts at 6 o'clock on the West Coast, 9 o'clock on the East Coast. It'll be on Magnus's YouTube channel. We'll have an Anonymous Bites Back tonight as well. I'll probably be a little bit late to that, but that starts at 7 on the West Coast and 10 on the East Coast. Tomorrow, get your shit together. It is the best goddamn call-in show on the interwebs. That's a late night gig. It starts at 11 on the East Coast and 8 p.m. on the West Coast. Sunday, Reed Coverdale will be with us. Really looking forward to sitting down and shooting the shit with him. And then again, Elizabeth Voss the following week. Gotta send a shout out and some love to Garland Nixon. Garland was in a car wreck a couple of weeks ago, and he has had to take the week off from work. He got concussed. It was fucking with him, so he's healing up, and would like to send him all the good vibes and the quick healings. And I did hear that Lori Love is in the hospital right now, so good and healing vibes going over to Lori. Swift recovery. Jones, what you got?
I have a lot of kind of Florida related news, but still very important because it always gets swept under the rug. So yeah, I have some kind of very serious issues with the environment here that's been happening lately. Let me make sure I have the right tab up. So if y'all know anything about Florida, you know that annually we get red tides, particularly on the west side, but sometimes they go to the east side as well, where basically we get a lot of red-brown algae that come up en masse. And what's happened in the past couple of years is they've also resulted in what you can see here, which are a lot of fish kills. Because not only do we have a crisis with warming waters, but there's also the fact that because the waters are warm, the dissolved oxygen is getting severely messed with because of that, but it's also getting messed with because of water pollution, which negatively impacts the beds of seagrass, which contribute to the amount of oxygen in the water. So what happens is when you have water pollution that kills off seagrass, and you also have these red tides that use toxic algae, specifically the type of algae is called Carenia brevis. That's the specific type that we see around Tampa Bay. It's toxic. So when you combine those two things, it leads to a lot of fish kills because the fish are suffocating due to lack of dissolved oxygen, and they're also dying because of the toxic algae. So another one's been going on in Tampa and around St. Petersburg for the past couple years here. And then I just wanted to kind of show this headline. And then there's also, and then this is what the concentration of said algae looks like right now. Carenia brevis. It's pretty fucking bad right now. And also pretty much because the red tide this year in particular has gotten so bad, there's actually been protests around Tampa Bay that are calling for help. I've been able to find like barely any videos, but basically more than 100 people took part in these events, along with the St. Petersburg waterfront carrying signs and shouting stuff like "Save our bay, make polluters pay." Because one of the things that is making these red tides around Tampa and around Florida really significantly worse and worse is runoff from sugar farms, phosphate mining, and overall water pollution stemming from like septic tanks and again runoff and also wastewater leaks. Now take the phosphate mining and wastewater leaks and go back a couple months now when we did this video on Earth Day where I told y'all about what was happening with the Piney Point phosphate plant, where there was a huge wastewater leak. And in response to that, they were pumping water from the freaking gypsum stack directly into Tampa Bay. And this resulted in what we said on Earth Day this year, which was, oh, wow, exactly 3 months ago now. I mean, yeah, exactly 3 months ago now. Larger concentrations of nitrogen around the port, and this concentration was already leading to larger algae blooms. So this was 3 months ago, and the disaster as it is barely being managed. Like, I think the last tangible update I was able to find was this one right here from Ocala, where basically as of March, they've been releasing wastewater into the local creek, which leads directly into Tampa Bay. And then also they're trying to figure out some stuff with how to manage deep well injection. Well, here's the problem with deep well injection is you're injecting it into a foundation full of limestone and dead corals, which is incredibly porous. So who's to say that that won't somehow seep into other water supplies or go right back into Tampa Bay? So I have no doubt that the disaster that we were covering a couple months ago, earlier this year, has led to the worsening crisis of red tides in Tampa Bay, along with just an escalation of stuff like phosphate mining and sugar farming needing all kinds of fertilizers and pesticides, which, you know, the runoff from those leads to a lot of these algae blooms with the chemicals that's in that water. So,
well, and sorry, that was like 9 minutes uninterrupted. That was impressive. The thing that we did back in April, the plant itself, the entire property was more or less condemned and had been for a generation. And that's fairly consistent with all of the phosphate plants all over Florida. Like, it's not, that's, so it's on every conceivable side of water. It doesn't matter. And then what little, what fresh water there is, it also becomes part of that fucking waterway, because it leaches into, if there's any fresh water right there to carry, that will carry it out into the ocean, they'll get into that. It's in the fucking groundwater, all that shit.
Yeah. And I mean, we've been warning about this. Locals have been warning about this. Scientists have been warning about this, but it's been going completely ignored. So now it booms into this crisis we have with the current red tide and supplementing fish kill, which, by the way, isn't just a fish kill, because it's also the toxic algae has come in such high concentrations that it's also led to the deaths of sea turtles and large grouper. Like, I'm sure you guys might have seen the image of the freaking crane having to dig the huge ass Goliath grouper out of the bay. Yeah, that. And also manatees, which is, I mean, that I wanted to share that. It kind of hits home because it's sort of like what we're known for, and these poor creatures are endangered as well. And this led to what we're seeing now, where we broke the record for manatee deaths in half a year. 841 manatee deaths were recorded between January 1st and July 2nd, breaking the previous record of 830 that died in 2013 because of another outbreak of a toxic red tide. So That, I mean, like, and they already have to suffer through so much. I'm just like, raising the alarm on that further again, because their main source of food is seagrass, which has been dying en masse due to water pollution. And then you also have the fact that they have to deal with a bunch of idiots that go out on fucking boats and go and maim them with the turbines. That's why they're so strict about speed limits when you're leaving those ports in Miami, because you're not trying to hit a fucking manatee. So there's that. And then that's just one of like kind of the really tangible ways in which we're seeing the effects of this red tide, and why so many, and why, I'm at least trying to raise the alarm on that, because it's like, when are people going to start caring about what we're doing to our fucking coastal ecosystems? I mean, there's so much of a focus on, and obviously that's intentional. There's so much of a focus on carbon emissions and Green New Deal and climate change. Well, what about what the warming of our oceans is doing to the concentration of dissolved oxygen? Like, they purposely focus on abstract terms so that way these very tangible effects of, and these very tangible instances of environmental degradation, like the ones I just laid out, are completely mowed over, save for the ones that showed up for that protest in around Tampa Bay recently. Big ups to you for that. I mean, I hope there's more of that, because for fuck's sake, like, this isn't getting enough coverage from, the environmental people.
Well, there's no incentive for them to do it because all of them are funded by Benioff or fucking, British Petroleum or Shell Oil. And there's all of the sustainable technology that all still requires petroleum in some way, shape, or form, or a rare mineral that you have to entirely fuck up the planet in order to access. All of those companies, they're funding all of the quote unquote environmental groups too. I have seen that XR is starting to like gear back up for shit that isn't major federal legislation based. Cool. Thanks. Stoked. You know, um, I mean, the dude who started it in the UK, like, was like, yeah, no, you have to overthrow this system if you want to change it. There's no, that's the answer. How much of that has managed to come over here without becoming a wholly owned subsidiary of, George Soros? I don't know. I don't. But at least they're like, some better than Sunrise is giving it. Jesus fucking Christ, those guys are a disappointment. Who were we talking
And that's
to?
a good ass point, Ronan. Fucking Disney. I did. I mean, the comment read, as a native Floridian, big ups. I got something nobody mentions. Disney. Do you got any idea how much phosphates, etc., they put into the environment just from their fireworks? Yeah. Because they have those fireworks show like what, every night, every week.
Yeah.
And it's insane. And what do fireworks have in them? Phosphorus. So like, yeah. And then it rains a lot too. So all of the runoff coming from the fireworks. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up.
Who were we talking to the other day where the oxygen levels of the ocean came up? And the fact that like
Keith.
nobody, huh?
Keith.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to meet Keith McHenry, y'all. It was dope.
Glory was all excited. It was rad. It was. Oh, and by the way, October 12th, 9 a.m., San Jose, Peckham Federal Building. We'll be back out. It is also, depending on what side of the argument you're on, either Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day. We're going to try and connect with as many groups as we can around that and bring them in and involve, have a joint protest.
Yeah. On Genocidal Conquistadors Day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we're going to see if we can't get some homeless advocacy groups outside of just what Keith does. Although Keith kind of seems to be a one-man show in the entirety of Central California for homeless advocacy. It's dark. What else you got?
I have another Florida story. So, remember how in France they were trying to criminalize filming the police? And then remember how Ohio was like, that's interesting. So they introduced a bill to criminalize filming the police. And then the entire time in LA, they had their free speech zones where, you know, they would light you up if you got outside the free speech zone, and they purposely wouldn't tell you where it was. Yeah. So going along the lines, and that note, I don't want to share a video file. I want to share a window. A proposed bill in Florida, this is from Local 10 News, yeah, could make it illegal to take cell phone video of the police. And the reason why I include this article specifically because it includes kind of the context of this situation where in Hialeah, someone was being detained by the police, and then a bystander was filming the video and, you know, trying to freaking hold him accountable in any way you can. He was saying, oh, the police are punching him. Why are they punching him? So he was, you know, asking questions during this detainment, and what that prompted was Alex Rizzo, a Hialeah representative, to introduce this bill in the Florida Senate. HB 11, impeding, provoking, or harassing law enforcement officers. Impeding, provoking, or harassing law enforcement officers prohibits approaching law enforcement officer or remaining within specified distance of such officer with specified intent after receiving warning not to approach. And I have the PDF already screenshotted here, so I'll just show that. And so basically, an act related to impeding, provoking, or harassing law enforcement officers, creating a number, providing a definition, prohibiting approaching a law enforcement officer or remaining within a specified distance of such officer with specified intent after receiving a warning not to approach, providing criminal penalties, providing an effective date. Be it enacted, blah, 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 is created to read approaching a law enforcement officer after warning with intent to impede, provoke, or harass. And then as used in this section, the term law enforcement, they go through definitions. It is unlawful for any person after receiving a warning from law enforcement not to approach, to violate such warning and approach or remain within 30 feet of a law enforcement officer who is engaged in the lawful performance of legal duty with the intent to interrupt, disrupt, hinder, impede, or interfere with the law enforcement's ability to perform such duty, provoke a physical response from the law enforcement direct officer, or directly or indirectly harass the law enforcement officer. A person who violates this subsection commits a misdemeanor of the second degree.
So what's the progress of that bill?
The progress was that it was introduced only on the 19th, I believe. Yeah, it was, the last action was that it was filed on the 19th, but honestly, I don't put it past the legislature to pass this bill, even though I do have some doubts that it will. My problem with it is that motherfuckers are even comfortable introducing this kind of stuff. That there's even a conversation on whether we can film the fucking police. And it's happened because of, actions we've seen all around the West, really, where filming the police is being criminalized and where you can't show people can't see the state being brutal in action. People can't see state brutality in action because that's what this is going to end up criminalizing. If you're filming say, that's why imagine the George Floyd thing. If you're filming that and yelling at the cops, what if you're getting arrested for harassing the officer? Like, bitch, if that's the case, I'm getting fucking screwed.
Well, didn't it, in a weird series of events, didn't the kid who filmed that wind up dead? Or no, it was like his uncle. That's right.
Yeah, no, I don't. It wasn't the actual kid, but yeah.
But the kid who filmed a police shooting in Chicago wound up dead a couple of days later. That happened not too long ago this year when they shot like the 13-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
There was people who had a fucking angle on that and they got. Yeah. Fuck. No, you absolutely film the police.
Yeah.
And by the way, like Facebook channels dedicated to people who film cops, all of those get taken down.
Yeah,
like, if you can find a channel that does that, support them.
Yeah, there's a I think he's got an Instagram too, but like a Twitter account called Film the Police LA, where it does just what you like. You have to hold these fucks accountable in some way, shape, or form. Like there's some power that you can have if you're standing in front of a cop with a phone and recording them. Like I've witnessed the impact. I've experienced the impact that can have. Like I've witnessed the impact that can have. So like for people to just be so comfortable trying to handicap that when, news gathering activities are literally protected by the First Amendment. But suddenly we attack Julian Assange and it becomes so easy to just take jabs at the First Amendment like that.
Yep, especially if you can hyper politicize the outlet that it's coming from. And then that way nobody's paying attention to the actual footage. If the actual footage is full context, outright state violence, it doesn't matter what outlet's reporting it. Sure, it might be being reported in a partisan fashion, but it's kind of, on you guys and on everybody to discern partisan hackery from obvious footage of nonpartisan state violence.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we encourage so many people to just be journalists themselves too. Like, be a citizen journalist. Go and just film shit. Like, let people see what's happening in this dying empire, because it's going to be crucial to our fights and to activism that people are able to see what's happening. Like, that's why I keep bringing up the Echo Park fences so much, and why that was so important, and why, it meant a lot that we had Julian Assange's birthday celebration there, was the fact that it was such a site of pure state brutality taking place in complete darkness, and people trying their best to get the word out despite the fact that they put up black tarp covered fences. Like, that's why this shit is so important.
No, you're absolutely right. And please do go out, go film, go post it wherever you can. Somebody should start a documenting the Empire in Decline project. Like, while we're in the process of building out communities. So there's a juxtaposition. I don't know, man. I like sticking around to film the technocratic takeover of organic life. I don't know. We ought to be able to resist that, though, in multiple different ways.
I think so too. We got a super chat from Steve Wolfbrandt that says, "Hey friends, please boycott Frito-Lay products to support the strikers."
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool. And good luck to the people striking at Frito-Lay. Let me see if I can find anything on that.
Mm-hmm.
We do it live.
Yeah.
Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah. Oh,
All
and
right.
also another worldview. Yes, there's another march scheduled for the 24th LA. If it's the one being done by Answer Coalition, which I think is the one that you might be referring to, that one is scheduled to start, is not scheduled to start until 7 p.m. Or at least that's what the dude that I was talking with about told me, because, like, you know, I got a message and it was like, "Oh, we're having a rally, like Answer Coalition is having a rally on the 24th." And I was like, "Wait a minute, that's the March for Medicare for All. They kind of been planning that for months." And I was like, "Okay, what's up with that?" And he was like, "Oh, ours doesn't start until 7 p.m. So yeah." If that's the one you're referring to, I'm not sure.
I know that Pasta and Fee are speaking at the Medicare for All March on the 24th. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a picture of Pasta in a suit. This is a picture for the March for Medicare for All. That's fucking funny. I saw a screenshot that Misty threw in, and it was somebody saying that they had asked if they had to police their language at the Columbus event, and the response was, "Well, Misty's the MC, so no, we're not really concerned about it."
Imagine if one of us were the MC.
Wow. Can I just say how nice it was to have a conversation about January 6th with somebody that was there, that wasn't like trying to push a rabid partisan narrative? Like, just one more time, dude. Shout out to Chrissy Marr. That was good shit. Go check that out. It's so fucking like, oh, it's nice to talk to not bug fuck nuts crazy people. Nice. So Moonshot. So here's what happened. We were getting ready for, or yesterday morning, Jimmy Jean, that I do Into the Microcosm. I do a guest spot there once a week. Sends me like a Wikipedia thing, and he's like, "Moonshot, look it up. It's crazy. We're gonna talk about it tonight." It like builds this that we never talk about it on the show. Never talk about it. We never got there. But I figured we could kind of broadly go over what this thing is and what it does, and give you guys an idea of what just the kind of tools that are out there, the kind of mindset that people are operating on, and we're going to try and find out a little bit more about how this whole venture is funded. Moonshot is a well, I'll pull up the thing. I'll let you guys see. Do 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 do.
Oh God.
So we connect the vulnerable individuals with opportunities, jobs. We reach at people at risk from online harms and offer them an alternative path. Our work is rooted in evidence, ethics, and the fundamental belief that people can change. So here is like what the work is. They specialize in finding vulnerable audiences and demonstrating interest in or advocating for the propagation of online harm. Our work on social media platforms is guided by general data protection regulation principles. We work to better understand vulnerable individuals online and build an evidence base to better inform campaigns and interventions to safeguard these audiences. We deliver campaigns and interventions aiming to connect vulnerable individuals online with safer content, counselors, and information about key service provisions to broker their engagement with local service provisions online.
So what about that resources tab?
Well, hold up, because I want to go through what they do first, and then we'll go to resources, because resources has nothing to do with funding.
Oh
So
yeah, you'll know the moment you click it. Trust me, I can attest to that.
the redirect method is an open source methodology that uses targeted advertising to connect people searching online for harmful content with constructive alternative messages, piloted by Jigsaw. Hold on to that name, folks. We'll come back to it. We'll do the Pasaki, the Nazi robot, and circle back. Piloted by Jigsaw and Moonshot in 2016, and subsequently deployed internationally by Moonshot in partnership with tech companies, governments, and grassroots organizations. It uses pre-existing content made by communities across the globe, including content not created for the explicit purpose of countering harm, to challenge narratives which support violent extremism, violent misogyny, disinformation, and other online harms. That's broad. That's broad. Just as other companies use ads on social media and search engines to sell material products to an audience defined by, in whole or in part, the keywords they are searching for, the redirect method places ads in the search results and social media feeds of users who are searching for pre-identified terms that we have associated with a particular online harm. The redirect method can be extensively tailored to platform requirements and campaign goals, but at its core are three fundamental components: indicators of risk, keywords, the adverts triggered by the indicators, the content, and the content to which users are redirected to by the advertisements. Methodology recognizes the content not created for the purpose of counter messaging has the capacity to undermine harmful narratives when curated, organized, and targeted effectively. This approach also mitigates the risk of low retention rates experienced by bait and switch advertising, in which individuals are presented with content that differs significantly from that which they were searching for. Instead, the redirect method shows those users content which responds to and counters socially harmful narratives, arguments, and beliefs espoused by the content for which they were originally searching. Redirect method has been deployed in partnership with tech companies, governments, and grassroots organizations all over the world in multiple languages, and designed to counter a wide range of online harms. If you would like to see examples of the redirect method in practice, our resources page full of examples. If you have specific questions about how it works, please contact us at this address. We'd love to hear from you. Well, let's take a look.
A wealth of knowledge.
What are your thoughts up to this point, Jones?
My thoughts are that it's bullshit And it's going to be even more bullshit once we look at these headlines. Bro, the moment you see the ADL logo, it's like...
Anti-Semitism within anti-vaccination conspiracy theories. That's the second most recent article. Moonshot, look, this is the Moonshot partnered with the ADL to analyze U.S. search traffic in response to you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it live.
Bruh, everybody and their mama's a terrorist, according to the ADL.
Let's do it live. Yes, download PDF.
Okay. Oh, whoa, wait a second. Read that. From August 18th to March 7th, we recorded 511,759 white supremacist searches across the United States. We identified trends such as anti-Black search traffic, interest in anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, and a sustained appetite for the Great Replacement conspiracy theory. Ultimately, we found that offline events seem to catalyze search traffic for extremist content online. So, aka the great reset. So,
well, no, I think the Great Replacement is something different.
Yeah, but like I see the thing is I see a lot of people who kind of fall in line with the ADL school of thought. They conflate the great reset with the Great Replacement. Where it's like, oh, that's why there's so many dunces out there that are like, oh, the Great Reset is a white supremacist conspiracy theory because it's like the Great Replacement. Actually, no, it's not, bitch.
Okay, so is this gonna get us strike on YouTube?
Give us that QAnon context warning, baby. It's been a while, bitch.
Okay, I gotta. This is too funny. In 2020, racism and systemic racial inequality took center stage in the American public eye with a nationwide mass protest against recent police killings of Black people and historic evidence of racial injustice. In a nationwide reactionary mobilization, members of armed extremist groups made frequent appearances at BLM protests as self-appointed protection for property and counter-protesters. This high-profile direct action, combined with tacit and explicit support from local and national political figures, contributed to an increased interest in white supremacist and racist ideas by segments of the country.
Oh, so the Proud Feds?
Yeah. Let's see who we got. White supremacist groups and other extremist organizations seized on the tensions and uncertainty in American life to promote racist beliefs and anti-Semitic conspiracy theories in order to increase their recruitment. Extremist narratives related to the pandemic promoted the conspiracy theory, alleging that COVID-19 is a hoax created by a Jewish-led cabal. This and related anti-Semitic tropes and conspiracies are mainstays of many QAnon narratives. There you go, Jones. Other groups, such as the Patriot Front, have used the past year's societal upheavals to recruit new members by promoting an impending race war and the perceived persecution of white people, as indicated by conspiracy theories such as white genocide, and the Great Replacement. Extremist groups also exploited wider tensions, perceived grievances, and disinformation against the BLM movement, as well as popular disinformation alleging the election was rigged.
All you culture war grifters, that's basically what it is. First of all, like, they're only doing it for opportunist purposes. Second of all, congrats, you fucking dumbasses. You've fallen right into narrative management zone and right into this whole op. Now it's gonna come back on us all. Thanks, dickheads.
Well, look at their citations here.
Oh man, New York Times,
interactive George Floyd crowd protest. Okay. NBC News, where protesters go, armed militias, vigilantes likely follow. Okay. Then they've got just a quote. No. Oh, okay, there we go. Stephen Ibarra in the press handbook. Okay, sure. From
They have ADL.
a psychology journal. Yeah.
ADL's entry on QAnon. Nice.
Yeah. National emergency, how COVID-19 is fueling unrest, and Southern Poverty Law Center. Fantastic.
Oh, jeez, what the fuck?
Oh, okay. So I went to go click on the NBC News article about the vigilantes and armed groups and whatnot, and it is gone.
Nice.
Hold
the fuck up. That second one right there, the truth about Black Lives Matter. This search suggests the Black Lives Matter movement has nefarious motives. First of all, BLM, the organization, not the movement. And it's a disinformation narrative perpetuated by white supremacist groups to weaponize anti-BLM sentiment. While the search phrase appears innocuous, several books included in their title and allege that the BLM movement is joined with Antifa, burning and looting. These sources echo white supremacist disinformation narratives alleging that BLM protesters are trying to overthrow the republic and harm American citizens in a Marxist coup as a means of delegitimizing it. Multiple videos on YouTube promote these narratives, in particular the criminalization of BLM using the identity phrase. Okay, that's more culture war bullshit. Also, the truth about Black Lives Matter, a lot of people look that shit up because they collected $90 million and didn't give shit of it back to the incarcerated protesters or the families of the kids that were murdered by police, or, any mutual aid groups or bail funds. That's why a lot of people were looking up the truth of Black Lives Matter. I'm not going to pretend to be in line with that culture war bullshit because it's just bullshit. But at the same time, like, a lot of criticisms of BLM come from the grassroots as well because of BLM, not because of white supremacist disinformation.
Go talk to Tefpo about it. Yeah, he's one of the people from Ferguson who have managed to not get shot, burned alive in a car, or completely co-opted. Go back to this here. We're about to get into the really juicy stuff, Glory Jones.
Oh, great.
Daily searches for anti-Black and anti-Semitic keywords, 17 July, 18 August 2020. It looks like July was an interesting month. Holy shit. So we gotta, and what, 5,500 a day? Is that really a lot? Nationwide, 330 million people. Is that really a lot?
Like, what classifies as a keyword, though?
I think we're gonna find out.
I'm like literally picturing like a man in a white hood that's just like, I don't know.
The most popular search themes across the U.S. during this period were anti-BLM, with a total of 15,469 searches, followed by conspiracies about the political power of Jewish elites, 11,598 searches, and
what the fuck? That's a lot of.
Hey! Let me get through the goddamn thing. And anti-Semitic websites and forums at 6,674. The top 10 sub-themes within anti-Black and anti-Semitic search traffic in this period of time between the 17th of July and the 18th of August in 2020. Here we go. I don't know if we're going to get specifics. Jewish world domination conspiracies. General anti-Semitism. Holocaust denial.
Everybody should get on a VPN and Google "fuck Israel" to trip this up.
Yeah, Frank at 332.
What? Wait.
You
Were they
still
just
got it, baby.
were they just like searching Anne Frank though, or
I
like
don't know. There's no way of knowing. That's ridiculous. Why is there no way of knowing?
oh, New World Order?
Okay. Ooh. Nope, not you.
Zionist occupied government. Yeah. The fuck you mean? Yes. Yes.
Oh, this is Adam. This is no more news. Holy shit, I gotta tag him. Anti-Semitic forum. High search volume. God damn.
Bring back slavery. What the fuck?
Sustained interest in the Ku Klux Klan. Nearly 350 Americans searched Bring Back Slavery on November 4th, the day after the presidential election, when voters in Nebraska and Alabama, among other states, voted to remove racist language that legalized slavery as a punishment from their states' constitutions. I'm going to read that sentence again. Nearly 350 Americans searched Bring Back Slavery on November 4th. Nearly 350. The day after the presidential election, when voters in Nebraska and Alabama, among other states, voted to remove racist language that legalized slavery as a punishment from their states' constitutions. Jones, what year was it last year?
When what? Oh, when
What,
they did
what
that?
year? What year? What, I mean, the like physical number.
When they legalized slavery as punishment? You mean when the 13th Amendment was fucking ratified?
No, if they're just now voting to remove.
Oh, you mean remove the language? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't
I
fucking
mean,
care. Like only 300. You know, I'm honestly surprised it's not more people.
right?
Like shit, bro.
Nearly 350 people. So,
That number is small. Shit, like that's
less
manageable.
than Congress.
That's fucking
those
manageable.
overwhelmingly high numbers. Like, really? They made a report about 300 fucking people.
Zionist occupation government. Yes. Yes. I don't get what's what's extremist about that. Yes. Our government is primarily occupied by Zionists.
Okay, so Moonshot recorded high volumes of searches for keywords such as Black Lives Matter is evil. Jews will not replace us. This is just so weird. Okay. Where'd it go? Doubts were raised about the election's integrity even before it took place, with rampant disinformation both online and offline. The scapegoating of groups and communities that supported racial justice efforts as the likely culprits of an anticipated rigged election. That's wrong.
Yeah.
That's wrong. We thought it was the bankers and we thought it was the globalists, but not necessarily anyone who gave a damn about racial justice efforts. Not even the Jews.
Yeah.
Man, they're all up in Adam's shit, though. Go ahead, Jones. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, the fucking genuine election integrity activists have always been on that shit. Like, like doubts were raised about the election's integrity before it even took place. Like, yeah, I'm right here.
and the anti-Semitic pamphlet, The International Jew.
Fuck. What the fuck?
Doncopter Army, you have homework.
Jewish philanthropist George Soros.
Yeah. After January 6th, participants charged in the Capitol insurrection along with pundits and politicians shifted blame to actors identified in disinformation narratives. Searches for Europa, the Last Battle documentary, a white supremacist film about World War II and the post-war geopolitical order, NSBM, a genre of neo-Nazi music, and the Turner Diaries all rose.
That's gotta be a joke. I'm sorry.
Yo.
That's gotta be a joke. Neo-Nazi genre of music.
No, it's a thing. There's skinhead punk rock and shit.
It sounds garbage.
It's terrible. It is. It is. It is. Sorry to any Screwdriver fans out there. It really is garbage. Not sorry. No.
Satanic War Master.
Wait,
What the fuck is even wrong with that?
The large volume of searches for the most popular keywords illustrate the diversity of access points to white supremacist ideology, from Holocaust denial documentaries to NSBM music and anti-BLM slogans. No more news. Look at you, Adam. Satanic War Master. Wow. And it's not the greatest story never told. Dubster's fucking slipping. Where did Americans consume extremist content? Look at you, California.
I guarantee you, like, half of that is from LA alone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's like Huntington Beach,
Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I was gonna say Venice, but yeah.
That too.
Santa Monica and like the white neighborhoods, and then going up into Santa Cruz, and then the rest of it is like there's Redding, fucking there's Ukiah. Well, there's all of Mendocino County. Yeah.
You know what? I'm quite disappointed in Florida and Texas here.
It's all, well, maybe the exception to Arizona, but otherwise all blue states.
Huh.
They're not consuming extremist content in South Carolina. They're not consuming it in Iowa. But boy, they sure are in Illinois.
Jeez.
Do you think
Has to
that
do with Lori Lightfoot, or
how much of it do you think is people consuming extremist content, and how many of it is it people scouring the internet for extremist content so they can blog about it and generate outrage on it?
I mean, speaking for LA, about half. Because there's half of the people that are like genuine, because you know it's LA, so they're stupid or they're feds, and there's the other half of people that are like, ooh, let me search it up so I can make a quick hot take about it.
So this is weird. This may go along with what I just said. Top 10 states where the searches are highest per capita. Blue state, 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 blue state. Rigged, but blue state.
I thought Arizona was like purple.
Yeah, but it's...
Yeah, I got you, though.
Say that, but they always go. The last time they had a Democratic governor, she got shot. Or was that a senator, representative?
I don't know.
But
same shit.
But if you look at where the searches are, those are not that have nothing to do. Absolutely nothing to do. Zero overlap whatsoever with any of the states.
These ones are actually far less surprising too.
Mhm.
The counties themselves.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I definitely expect Fredericksburg, Virginia to be up there.
Right. Baltimore. Interesting. So, I mean, and this is just one of these. Ooh, conspiracy theory.
What does that even cover?
I don't know, but it only accounts for 2.1% of the national average. Washington State, you're doing it. You're doing it.
Damn. Disappointed in you, California. Oh my god, no more news again. Aryan nations, what? This is just funny to me, honestly. I'm sorry.
It is. I mean,
Brotherhood of Clans.
wow.
Wait, only 700 searches for Brotherhood of Clans? Yo. I that's less than I expected.
This is kind of weak sauce. I'm gonna go to My Awakening, a Path to Racial Understanding. Wow.
Sounds like something that like
What extremist merchandise? Okay, Tightrope Records.
Totenkopf patch?
Yeah.
A Waffen SS memorabilia?
So are they really going to consider every Iron Cross? Because there's there's fucking skateboard companies that use, all kinds of people use that.
Yeah. And for the Waffen SS memorabilia and the Totenkopf pin, like, what if someone's just a genuine history buff? So, like, they collect anything they can get. So, but, like, they'll also have, like, I don't know, maybe memorabilia from another era, like Ottoman Turks memorabilia or something like that. I don't know.
There's also what? Oh, KKK hotline.
Oh my God.
Join the KKK. How to join the KKK Brotherhood of Clans? Join the Order, Council of Conservative Citizens website, Loyal White Knights website, Aryan Nations website,
Loyal
United
White
Clans
Knights.
of America, Brotherhood
Loyal
of
White Knights. I think that's my favorite one. Loyal White Knights.
Loyal White Knights website. Go ahead and troll the fuck out of that and like drop pictures of all your favorite progressive white knights on there. Do that. See if you can't get a fucking sponsorship or some shit.
Oh my God. This is like comical, honestly.
Yeah. Wow, dude. Top 10 counties for Klan searches: Coweta, Georgia; Gaston, North Carolina; Meriwether, Georgia; Lincoln, Maine; Lincoln, North Carolina; 9, Nevada; Belmont, Ohio; McCracken, Kentucky. Hey, fuck it, they cracking. Fucking whips and shit. Fucking Klan hood, motherfucker. Rankin, Missouri; Beltrami. Okay.
Not surprised.
This is wild. 48% of users don't. We don't. There's no female domination.
Wait. Go. So the searches for the where the Ku Klux Klan is, like, the searches are highest in the 18 to 24 age group. Do these people not realize that it's probably us just trolling the fuck out of people?
or doing fucking schoolwork.
Yeah. Or like doing a history assignment or something.
I mean, 55 to 64 being the top demographic for anti-Muslim and that being more or less 50-50. I see that.
Yeah,
I
the
do.
anti-Muslim one makes sense. The Ku Klux Klan one, like that just screams, oh, they're either doing a history project or trolling.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and people shedding their white supremacist ideology as they get older. I see that, but yeah, that's fucking. I'm gonna go back to the thing. Oh, that's right. This one's fun. I had this pulled up from earlier.
What the I forgot what it's called. Jigsaw.
No, not the jigsaw thing yet.
Oh.
What was it? Oh, this was just for the state of California. Domestic violent extremist mobilization. The infographic specifically covers data collected on Google search from September 2020 until March 2021 related to domestic violent extremist mobilization to targeted violence, political violence, conspiracy theories, and armed groups. No personally identifiable information was collected as a part of the research, which solely uses aggregated metadata. By the way, that's another side effect of everyone putting all of their data out there. Like they get to fucking just make sweeping broad generalizations that lump everyone into the category of terrorist regardless of what their internet search was for.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people searching those categories specifically, although this is more female than male. More women are searching, apparently.
Okay.
Moonshot's data shows the prevalence per capita of domestic violent extremism themes in California are greater than the U.S. national average by the following percentage. In terms of targeted violence, California accounts for 127.
Wait a fucking second. I just noticed what's at the bottom.
Oh, no, it's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, anarchist cookbook.
Yeah. Moonshot's analysis revealed that users in California had a strong interest in political conspiracies and armed groups. Searches related to QAnon, Sharpiegate, and FEMA concentration camps indicate that users have an appetite for disinformation. The high volume of searches related to QAnon indicates that Californians are especially prone to conspiratorial rhetoric that is related to anti-establishmentarianism. The most frequent keywords for these domestic violent extremism themes are number 1, the Anarchist Cookbook.
Yeah.
If you'll excuse me for just a moment, Lord.
Oh, he's getting it right now. I like how number 10 is just straight up industrial society and its future. Like how. Yeah.
This one was written by Keith McHenry and includes the denouncement of the original one by the original author. The original author went to the library and copied out the most wild shit he could trying to get out of Vietnam. It was then used as a way for the federal government to hand terrorism charges down to activists. So Keith wrote an actual treatise on anarchism and a like how-to guide for organizing and running a consensus-based activism organization, and also recipes that feed like 6,000. Number 2. Sorry, back to the list. Number 2. What is the QAnon plan?
Trust the plan.
The plan is to roll over and let Joe Biden usher in the Great Reset.
You said Great Reset.
Number 3, FEMA concentration camps, followed closely by number 4, FEMA coffins. Number 5, the QAnon plan to save the world. California.
Where we go one, we go all.
California. Wow. But there wasn't a where we go one, we go all California? Man, that's some fucking industrial society in his future. That's got to be like a book or a fucking essay or some shit. It
That
really
sounds
does.
like something you'd find in like Science Magazine, though.
I want to see what the chat has to say about all this shit. I'm gonna go over to the Rock Finny Fin. Oh, and there is a Super Ray up there. Should
Yes,
Karen
sir.
Sperry, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Oh, they didn't say anything?
Nope. Just a tip.
All right. Well, since it's just a message, then thank you for this Super Ray. It is always appreciated on Slow News Day.
They do not have recipes for LSD in the new anarchist cookbook, Willem. You gotta find. They renamed the mass transit. Oh, MS is Mississippi. I'm sorry. My bad. Going back to this weird shit, where'd it go? Come on. Oh, there's the ethics audit. I'm not even sure what to think about that. We'll probably come back to that.
Oh, and we have a super chat from John Tech 614. Couldn't those numbers be skewed from people using VANs? Love you guys. Keep it up. Thanks for the super chat. It's always appreciated on Slow News Day.
I mean, these are, you know, this is what the ADL is doing based off of keyword searches. So they're not distinguishing intent. They're not distinguishing anything. They're just taking the raw number from a keyword search and saying this is how many it was. So that doesn't even distinguish as to whether or not it was the same IP address that looked it up 3 different times writing an article about it and forgot where they found a thing or I mean, there's no, we don't get to see the methodology apparently. So I do want to circle back like a robot Nazi. To talk about Jigsaw, because it was mentioned earlier, and before I do that, I think before I do that, I want to go back to the resources thingy to just show you guys a little bit more of just how thorough this is and how I don't know. I guess the extent of the broad brush that they're using to try and what essentially amounts to propagandizing, or they consider it reprogramming. That's what they consider it, re-education, reprogramming. We should definitely go to the introducing Moonshot and just read through that. But domestic violent extremism, mobilization in the U.S., white nationalists and far-right search traffic in Ireland from shitposting to sedition.
The fuck?
Social grievances and violent extremism in Indonesia, malign creativity, how gender, sex, and lies are weaponized against women online. From passive search to active conversation, evaluation of the Facebook redirect program. Ooh, yeah, that's right. That's right. They work the reprogramming on the Facebook. But I mean, this is international. Incels, a guide to symbols and terminology. Jones, should we save that for Sunday?
Nah, I'd save it.
5G coronavirus conspiracy theory. This is fucking wild, dude. Misogyny, mocha, and victims of domestic violence. The impact of social distancing on engagement with violent extremist content online in the United States. Let's keep this shit locked down, though. April 14th, 2020 is when that went out. So if they have any juice at all these motherfuckers, I mean, they knew. They knew. What was the one I wanted to click on?
I don't know.
Me either.
But we are running up on 90 minutes, so I don't know if you want to go to the jigsaw thing.
Yeah, no, let's go ahead and wind it down, because I would like to throw a little bit more food at me before I do Magnus's panel and ABB.
All right.
What do you got, Glory Jones?
I got nothing I can think of right now. Yeah. Just yeah.
Word. So yeah, please do check out the Unity or Death podcast, Magnus's show. There is a YouTube channel for it. I think it's just Magnus Panvidya. I'll tweet it out too if you're on our social media. At SlowNewsDayShow is where you can find all of our social media, as well as PayPal and Cash App. We do have the GoFundMe that we're not panicked. I'm panicked. But until we can build up the platforms a little bit more and get our merch rolling in and shit like that, and be, more sustainable that way through those avenues, we are going to have a monthly GoFundMe. So if you can, please do donate to that. I fucking hate saying this shit. If you can't, please share the link. God. It's painful. It is. But I don't know, dude. I love you guys. I do. Big thanks, as always, to my better than your co-host, Glory Jones. Please come hang out with us tomorrow night, 8 o'clock on the West Coast, 11 o'clock on the East Coast. Get your shit together. It is the best damn call-in show on the internet. You should want to be there for it anyway. Sunday, read Coverdale. That's going to be fucking kick-ass. Make sure that we'll come back to the whole Moonshot and just how many ways they're trying to dig into your head and reprogram you for your violent extremist thoughts. Fucking disobedient, useless eaters. Thanks as always to Sleepy Josh on the ones and twos. Big shout out to Ali Alexandra, who is at work right now at the jobby job. I got big shout out to the kitchen at Ali's work. Thanks for listening. If you're listening, they were listening to ABB the other night. Stoked. One at a time, man. One at a time. Fucking, we'll do it. We will. Love you guys. We'll see you soon. Good luck to us.